Let's get into it. This is the story of how one single promotional photo for the K-pop group EXO basically set the internet on fire and sparked this massive debate that split its global fandom right down the middle. So what exactly happened? We're going to start with the photo that kicked everything off, and then we're going to unpack the two, and I mean dramatically different, ways that fans reacted. It really is a tale of two fandoms.
Okay, so it all started with this brand new promotional poster. It was for EXO's upcoming fan event, which was called EXOverse and scheduled for December 14th.
And you gotta understand, the anticipation for this was through the roof. Fans have been waiting for a new group photo for a while, so when it finally dropped, the initial excitement was just huge. But that excitement pretty quickly turned into something way more complicated. So the official photo featured 6 members: Suho, Dio, Chanyeol, Kai, Sehun, and Lay. And on the surface, it's a really powerful lineup, right? They're looking sharp, they look cohesive. But for a huge portion of the fan base, it wasn't about who was in the picture. It was about who wasn't. The fact that 3 members were missing immediately became the main talking point, and it just completely hijacked the entire conversation. So who was missing? It was Baekhyun, Chen, and Sumin, who you'll probably know as the members who also form the popular subunit CBX. And their absence is really what set off this massive wave of reactions we're about to get into.
First, let's break down the reaction from international fans. This absolutely exploded on platforms like X. Their response was immediate, it was emotional, and it was incredibly focused. The whole thing was just driven by pure emotion. Fans were showing this deep frustration at the agency, SM Entertainment, for releasing a photo that just felt incomplete. Emotional comments started pouring in, and almost instantly, fans began creating and sharing their own edits of the poster, digitally adding the 3 missing members to make the group whole again.
And this simple phrase, EXO is 9, became this powerful rallying cry. It was tweeted, retweeted, posted everywhere. It just perfectly summed up the unshakable belief of the international fan base that the group is, and always should be, 9 members.
Okay, now let's pivot and look at the reaction from Korean netizens, because it tells a completely different story. While international fans were focused on the numbers, the conversation in Korean online communities went in a totally different direction. Yeah, so instead of the member count, the discussion was almost entirely centered on aesthetics. The comments were just overwhelmingly positive, praising the visuals of the members who are in the photo. They talked about how cohesive and solid the group looked, and how much they were looking forward to new music.
You can really see the mood in comments like this one. There's no mention of missing members, it's just praise for the lineup's chemistry and this eager anticipation for new music. The focus was totally on the product, not the politics.
And a lot of comments were just like this: super simple, direct praise for how great the individual members looked. It really highlights a focus on the immediate, visual impact of the poster itself, rather than what it might imply about the group's lineup.
So this slide just summarizes the stark divide perfectly. International fans focused on the member count, which led to frustration, all summed up by the phrase EXO is 9. Meanwhile, Korean netizens focused entirely on the visuals, expressing praise and excitement, with a sentiment best captured by comments like, "They're so handsome." It's like 2 completely different worlds reacting to the exact same image. So what does this split reaction actually tell us? Because it's about more than just a disagreement over a picture. It kind of peels back the layers on fan culture and the current state of the EXO fandom. So what are the big takeaways? Well, first, the photo acted as a trigger. It just reignited all these long-running debates about the group's lineup, especially with the CBX members' ongoing contract disputes. Second, it clearly showcased the different priorities between the 2 fan communities. And third, despite all the controversy, it proved one thing beyond a doubt: the anticipation for any EXO activity is still incredibly high. Ultimately, when you look at both of these reactions, as different as they are, they really stem from the exact same place: a deep, unwavering passion for the group. Whether it's the frustration of wanting the group to be whole or the excitement for their next project, it's all born from a really profound investment in EXO's identity and their future. And that leaves us with one final question. Is this kind of division a warning sign for the group, or is it simply proof of a fiercely passionate fandom that cares so much they just happen to express it in very different ways? The answer, I think, probably lies somewhere in the middle.